Hey guys, I hope everybody's staying safe out there. This is just a little video on my solar system that I installed, and it's been up and running now for a couple of months, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour of it and how it's working. This is the Growatt inverter. It's a 10,000 watt inverter. It can be mounted outside. It's grid tied. This is a little case I built for around it just to keep the weather and stuff off of it. I didn't want it, it is sheltered by the solar panels because it's in underneath them, but I just built this. That was some leftover steel I had from my roof when I did my steel shingles on my roof, and that's all those are, steel shingles. So I just built that to put over it just to keep it protected a little bit. So and I put the piece of rubber in front of it just to kind of shelter it some. So anyway, it works pretty good. The inverter works great. I got really no issues with it. The only thing I'm having a little bit of trouble with is getting it to, it has a built-in data logger that connects to Wi-Fi, and I am having some trouble getting that to connect to my Wi-Fi for some reason. I don't know why, but it could be just that it's like really cold out right now and I don't really want to do it. So yeah, it's winter up here in Canada, as you can see. So yeah, and there's the rack. That's 16 325 watt solar panels. They're made by Canadian Solar, and that whole rack can tilt. It tilts back and forth on the center, so right now I got it tipped down a little more for the wintertime sun, and it does make a difference. The tilting does make a difference, because me and my dad just tilted this down a couple of weeks ago, and it made a big difference in the power output. As you can see there, it's almost putting out, I think it's putting out a little over 4,700 watts there by times. Which is good. It's only a 5 kilowatt system, 5.2 kilowatts, which is 5,200 watts. So it's working really good, especially for this time of year, when the sun's not at its strongest. It'll be interesting to see what it works like this summer, when the sun's up nice and high and strong. I'd be curious to see how much power it puts out, but yeah, those are just 6x6 posts down into the ground, and I anchored them to the building just for extra stability. And I am going to make a better system for tilting it. Right now I just have those 2x4s kind of holding it in place, but I'm gonna build something a lot better for tilting it and making it easier for tilting it. So, and then the 2x6 is there. That's basically just the rack. And on top of them, those are they're just like Unistrut. It's just solar racking on top of them that I screwed down to the 6x6 or the 2x6s. It works really well. This summer coming, I'm hoping to paint the whole thing. I want to paint it all, probably black. I think it will look best. But yeah, and I did it all myself. Well, me and my dad, actually. My dad helped me some, and I did all the electrical myself. I have a background in electrical, so I know a little bit about electrical and how it needs to be run and hooked up. So, but yeah, and it's all grid tied, so it just sits there, makes power, and it sends it back into the grid if I don't need it, and if I do need it, I use it. So, and yeah. And then around the corner here, this is I'm going to show you our utility company requires that you have a disconnect. Most do. You need to have a disconnect available, so if they come to work on the lines, they want to be able to come onto your property and disconnect your solar for their safety. But it's a safety thing, and I can understand why. They don't want to get electrocuted, right? And have, you know, in case there's ever power that would feed back out from these. They're not supposed to, these grid tie inverters. If the grid goes down, the utility power, when the grid goes down, the inverter will see that and it will disconnect automatically. It'll shut everything down right there at the inverter. But having that disconnect, it just reassures that Maritime, that the utility company, that the power is disconnected. That is my heat pump for inside my shop. And I really should do a video on this because it's a good little heat pump, that heat pump. Works really well. And there's the inside unit there. But yeah, that heat pump works really well. Last winter I spent almost $1,000 heating this shop, and with that heat pump I considerably less, like a lot less. So I'll do a video on that sometime. But this is the inverter on a day. This is probably when I had the panels tilted up more. They weren't tilted down for wintertime, and it wasn't putting, you can see the difference there. Like I'm getting about maybe, well, and it was probably cloudy out this day too, but I did notice a difference when we tilted them down more towards the sun. I was seeing like around 3,300 watts before, and when I tilted them up, or sorry, down towards the sun, that, well, you saw there, it was around 4,700 watts. So it makes quite a difference to have it facing more directly at the sun. So I guess I should talk about cost a little bit. The solar panels were $3,200. The inverter was $2,643. The rack cost me approximately $700, and electrical was for all the supplies, wire and all that, was about $400. So that's pretty much it, and that would total up to about $7,000 to do this whole project, which isn't too bad. I'm very happy with that, considering if I was to get this done by a company, it would be probably between $15,000 and $20,000 to get this done by a company, at least, if not more. So was it worth it? I think it was, and I'll know better this summer when we start getting more sun. But yeah, I definitely think it was worth it. And the nice thing is now, this inverter is a 10,000 watt inverter, and I've only used about half of what it's capable of. So if I want to expand, now all I have to do is just, all I'm going to have to invest in now is panels and the racking and a little bit of wire. So it's going to cut my cost down considerably because I don't have to buy another inverter. So yeah, I really think it's worth it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Anyway, everybody stay safe. Till next time.